Welcome to COSTCOvered. My name is Greg, and today we're going to be looking at the Ruprecht Braised Lamb Shanks in rosemary mint sauce. There you go. Get a look at that. All right, so here we go. The Ruprecht Braised Lamb Shanks in rosemary mint sauce. It says 2 lamb shanks, perfectly seasoned and braised for 12 hours in Ruprecht's own rosemary mint sauce. So let's rip it open. Let's see what we got inside here. All right, so we're gonna do a little unboxing here on our lamb shanks. Set this over here. So you open it up and they're just 2, I guess, pre-packaged lamb shanks in their rosemary sauce. All right, so what I'm gonna end up doing here is I'm just gonna do one of these, cut the package open, put it in one of these oven-safe bowls here, something like that. And I will also probably just cut up a squash here and maybe throw in a couple of mushrooms, toss it in the oven. We'll see how it turns out. All right, here's what we're looking at. Cut up some mushrooms, cut up the squash, and obviously you can see the lamb shank right in the middle there, bone in. And the directions say to put it in the oven, covered with aluminum foil for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, take the foil off and put it back in for another 10 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do, and we'll check back in a minute. All right, so here we go. Everything is done. I'm fully plated here, so I'll just show you the whole menu. We've got squash here, ended up making some rice as well, the mushrooms, and then of course what you're interested in is the lamb shank there. As you can see, it shrunk up a decent bit up on the bone there, but overall looks pretty good, I would say. So there you go. First thing I would mention is in terms of cook time, it took a little bit longer than anticipated. The instructions say to cook it with the aluminum foil on for 20 minutes and take it off for another 10 minutes for a total of 30 minutes, which I did. I pulled it out, kind of ran my finger along the bone of the lamb shank here, and it was still a little bit cold, so I ended up leaving it in for another 20 minutes or so. I think what happened was I ended up throwing in the squash and the mushrooms, and maybe that just prolonged the time that it needed to cook. So hand up, coach, that one's on me. You know, we learn in this life. But that just goes to show you, don't try to cut corners. I thought, you know, just throw it all in one pot and we'll do it that way and that'll save me time. But really, I should have done the squash and the mushrooms in a separate pan, done it that way. So don't cut corners. That's the lesson here. I know you came here for a review of lamb shanks, but maybe, just maybe, you learned a little something about life too. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna dive into this lamb shank here, and we're looking at. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty tender. I'll just get ripping in there. It's looking pretty good, right? Now, I will say it's a little bit of a minefield to eat in terms of, obviously there's the bone, but there's a lot of sneaky fatty parts in this that you got to watch out for. I'm usually not super concerned about eating the fat that comes with meat, but there's really a lot on here. So I don't know, it could give you a little bubble gut, I think, if you just house this whole thing, fat and all. So you might want to just keep an eye out for that. But overall, I'm just trying to rip into this, see what we get. Oh man, yeah, that's good. I don't want to lose my meal here, but I'm just trying to rip into it to show you. But yeah, that what do they call it? The rosemary, whatever sauce on it. It's pretty good. It's just got a pretty good flavor to it, I'll say that. You know, another thing is, it's a nice little change up. I feel like a lot of times, you know, it's the same old stuff. Chicken, pork, beef, chicken, pork, beef, chicken, pork, beef. Throw in a little lamb here and there, you know? Just a little change up, a little curveball. And yeah, look at that. That's pretty tasty stuff. All right. So, very good. I'm looking forward to mixing in with all the rest of this, but overall, would definitely recommend. Give it a try. It's not too overwhelming, you know. If you're not a huge, if you're not very familiar with lamb, like it's not too overwhelming. You'll be fine with this. So in terms of score, let's go good. I'm gonna go with a 4.1 on the score for the braised lamb shanks. So 4.1, and we'll see you next time.